What is happening, party people? Welcome to Countdown to Classic. This is a podcast that educates, informs, and gossips about World of Warcraft Classic. Each week we discuss the news, hot button issues, and content of the highly anticipated Classic servers. I'm your host, Josh Corbett, and this is a show where it's not my opinion on World of Warcraft that counts, but yours. If you're new to the show, Countdown to Classic goes through your expert input on everything relating to the sure-to-be amazing World of Warcraft Classic. And I am coming to you from Blizzcon 2018. So, as a few of you may have heard, I am here, I'm in the building, I'm in Anaheim, all the way from Australia, and I couldn't be more excited to bring you a little bit of coverage from the event itself. We're obviously all very excited about what's happening with the demo, and literally as we speak, as I am recording this, many of you will be diving into it. I'm actually recording this from my hotel room. It's 10 o'clock in the morning on Friday. BlizzCon just started, so you might be wondering, Josh, what the hell are you doing, man? You went all the way from Australia for BlizzCon. Why are you in your hotel room? Well, we didn't anticipate how crazy the queues were going to be. So we, like diligent people, my girlfriend and I, we went down nice and early to try and get involved, saw that the crowd was absolutely bigger than anything I could ever have imagined. And so we said, screw it. We're going to wait for things to die down a little bit. We can watch the opening ceremony on the virtual ticket. It's all good. It's not the end of the world. Little bit disappointing not to be in there, but honestly, it's better than sitting in line for a few hours. So that's the way that we're going to do it. Not a problem, but some of you may well be playing the demo as we speak, and I hope you're enjoying it, and I hope it's fantastic. I'm seeing everything pop up on Twitter, photos from inside the event itself, and it all looks amazing. I can tell you already that just already being here the last couple of days has been phenomenal. It really is like stepping into another world, and this being my first BlizzCon, if you haven't done it, I can't recommend it more. And I haven't even been to the damn event yet. Just everything leading up to it has been absolutely amazing, and we've had the time of our lives. We've only been in town 2 days, and just seeing people and meeting people and the experiences, everyone is so nice. And I'll go into further detail later on, but this podcast is really just to pump out a little bit of information as we go along. I'm hoping to do one maybe every day, maybe every 2 days over the next, 5 or 6 days, and we'll see how we go. But I just want to tell you a few quick stories. Now, we started out flying into flying into LA and then traveling down to Anaheim after a few days in LA, which was great. And we're very, very excited about what's to come. And the first thing that happened when I checked in, luckily enough, we're staying at the Hilton, which is right next door to the convention center. First thing I did when I walked into the Hilton was spot someone quite well known at Blizzard. Now, I'm not saying who they were for a particular reason. I may well go into that story a little bit later on the show. I'm still sort of working this one out. But either way, to basically walk in to this event and see someone that you recognize straight away, and it was the first person I said hello to. I'd been there for all of 30 seconds. It's like stepping inside of Twitter when you see all these people's faces, you see all the lovely things they have to say, and now you're sitting there shaking their hand and saying hello. It really is quite a bizarre moment when you're like, holy shit, I'm actually meeting you. This is fantastic. You do some amazing work on games that I love. It is really crazy to be able to just walk in and interact with these people. And like just this morning, I went down to the lobby and the first person I saw was Jesse Cox and walked straight up to him, said, hi, name's Josh, how you going? And we did the photo opportunities and everything, and the girlfriend got a really big kick out of that. She's a really big fan of his. So that was wild as well, just to see these people walking around. You see the YouTubers, you see the streamers, and it's like, holy crap, there they are right there. And it's a lot of fun. But we've done a lot just in the last 2 days. I was involved in a podcast panel last night for World of Podcasts, which was affiliated with the Con Before the Storm, sort of pre-BlizzCon event, which was fantastic. I hope that that will be made available relatively soon, and look in the Discord for links to that particular podcast. It was a really, really interesting chat with, there are about 6 or 7 of us, 6 or 7 podcast hosts on the panel, and it was just a general World of Warcraft panel, and they actually led off with Classic, which was a bit surprising. I'd just been through a bit of stress trying to unload a ticket of mine that I had extra on hand, and after finally sort of organizing that, ran to the panel, met the host, met the other panelists, and literally they started the podcast with, all right, Josh, talk about Classic. And that was really unexpected. I thought they'd go through all the BFA stuff and then maybe tail off with Classic. And sort of, I was the deer in the headlights look as I sat there and maybe fumbled my way through the first couple of questions, and I was a bit unready. But I eased my way into it, and funnily enough, I had a fair bit to say about some general World of Warcraft questions that related a bit more to retail, even though, as you know, I don't really play retail at all. But they had some really fun questions about hypotheticals involving things like introducing a third faction, which I weighed in on a bit. And it was just a lot of fun. So I really do recommend, if you want to catch a bit more of me and what I have to say on some general game principles or philosophies, look out for that link. And it's about 45 minutes and it's a lot of fun. So I'll send that through to you all. Now, on top of that, many of you have been asking, what's the deal with Classic at BlizzCon? Do you notice many fans for Classic at the event? To be honest with you, I don't mean to be a little bit of a Debbie Downer, but the answer is no. And I joked with the Discord this morning saying it really does seem like we are the red-headed stepchild of the Blizzard family at this point, because I've met very few people who are either here for Classic or excited for it. And that's not necessarily news to a lot of you. We know that there's many retail players who aren't particularly interested in diving back into the Classic waters. That's fine, each to their own. I think that there will be quite a few people who are intrigued by it, who will sort of play around for maybe a couple of weeks, but we'll see how we go. I talked a bit on that last night. But it just feels like I'm walking around in my big Countdown to Classic shirt, and people love the logo. I've gotten some fantastic comments on, hey, I love that logo on your shirt. That's fantastic. And I go, oh, thank you. It's my podcast logo. Oh, good for you. But nobody actually says, they follow that up with, oh, I'm not particularly excited for Classic, but that shirt looks great. And I'm like, well, thank you very much anyway. That's fine. But I just haven't gotten the feel that there's many of us here at the event. I know there's a lot of you at home who are very excited, and as I said, probably playing that demo right now, but people who are actually here, I was of the opinion, and I based this on nothing coming into the event. I was like, oh, maybe, 10 to 20% might be, maybe not 20%, 10 to 15% of the crowd might be here for Classic. That would be great. It feels more like 1%, to be honest with you, if that. So who knows? The event hasn't even started yet. I might meet 1 million people today who are intrigued by Classic and are here specifically for Classic. And I'm sure they will be all there on the show floor right now playing the demo. I've got no doubt. I just haven't bumped into them yet, but I really hope to. So that will be fantastic. Now, outside of the podcast panel that I did last night, I also got the chance to get involved in a little bit of a meet and greet, which was amazing as well. Went down to another hall, sat with a whole bunch of streamers, and we all had our cards and things like that out on the tables. We met the fans and things, which was fantastic. I was there for an hour, spoke to a whole bunch of people about the show, some people who hadn't heard of the show, some people who had heard of the show. It was really nice chatting with a few people that were listeners, meeting some of you. It was so amazing to have people come up and be like, no, I know who you are. I was just like, really? Okay, that's fantastic. And also being able to introduce people to the show who hadn't heard of it yet. That was probably something that gives me the biggest buzz. When people come up, they actively engage, and they're right there on the hook, and they're sort of saying, I'm there for the taking. Sell me on what you've got to give. And I tell them about the show. I tell them what we love to talk about, how we do things on Countdown to Classic, the amazing listener base, so many of you that have been along for the ride from day one, so many of you that have just consumed the show en masse over the last couple of weeks as well. I've gotten a lot of emails from some of you just in the last month who have been like, hi Josh, I started listening last week and I've almost listened to everything. It's really amazing, and it never ceases to amaze me how many of you just plug and plug away with the show, and it's so flattering to think that you enjoy it as much as you do, that you would give it that much time through the day to help me come into your lives and chat to you about World of Warcraft Classic. I got an email last week from someone who basically said they did, every episode in 7 to 10 days or something, which I couldn't believe. And as I said, what the show has gone through is always nice to hear. And thank you so much to all of you for listening. And that's why I'm at BlizzCon, because all of you made the show what it is. The show is hitting 50,000 unique downloads this past month. And it's all because of you. And that's why I'm here at BlizzCon. If the show was nothing, I wouldn't have bothered everyone. But here I am. And again, from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you for the support. It's been an amazing experience. But on top of that, what else have I been doing? Well, we have been drinking. We're Australian. We love to drink. We've been at the bar, meeting people. And honestly, just meeting the generic Blizzard fan has been fantastic as well. You don't have to be a classic fan to come up and say hello to me. I've been wanting to meet everyone. And the first night we were here, we were at the bar. I was a little shy at the start, but that's probably because I was sober. But then a few rums sort of loosened the lips. And it's funny the kind of conversations that spark a friendship. And the silliest thing, I was talking with my girlfriend. I said something to her along the lines of blah, 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 all your base are belong to us. And she was sort of made a funny face at the old reference. And she was like, you're such an old man with that reference. And I was like, you don't know what you're talking about, blah, blah, blah. We got talking to these guys next to us about that line, all your base are belong to us. And someone said, oh yeah, I know that reference and I know that reference. And we're talking about, how old you have to be to use it. Is it still lame to use that reference in 2018? And we basically ruled that, no, you get some nerd cred if you use that reference. You're obviously, what's up a little bit. So I appreciated that. But then it's funny because someone said, oh yeah, that's a reference from Star Wars. And I was like, no, it's not. That's from an old video game. That's the mistranslation that came up in text. All your base are belong to us. And they're like, no, it's a Star Wars thing. And then a very polite debate blows out over the origins of this reference. And from there, it's like, obviously we found out, quick Google search goes, this is where it comes from, and people make their concessions. All right, you got me. But then from there, it just spawns into, hey, so you mentioned you like Star Wars. Tell me what you love about Star Wars. I just watched Last Jedi for the third time on the flight over here. Tell me what you think. And then to sit down, have a few drinks, have a laugh with people that have the same passion for not necessarily what is a niche hobby at this point. Nerdism is pretty widespread now. We all accept that. But still to be in such a loving, warm environment where you can just geek out and know that there is no judgment. You can go as deep as you want with some of your crackpot theories, and no one's going to go be like, all right, whatever, nerd, I'm done talking Star Wars. It's been really fun. That then bled into Blizzard games and things of that nature. And I just met, that first night, 3 or 4 of the nicest people. And I'd shout out to Matt and Mike if you're listening. Guys, you really helped ease me into the whole BlizzCon feel, and you've done a few of them yourselves. And if you do happen to be listening, again, I just want to say a very heartfelt thank you for taking a shy Australian guy under your wings and just, letting me be part of the crowd. It was absolutely amazing. We were up till 3 a.m. drinking away, a late night trip to Denny's involving my first Grand Slam, which was, by the way, a life-changing experience. And it's been a lot of fun. Last night, I got the opportunity to meet, 2 of my mods, which was a really, really special moment for me. And it's just the start, because we're going to hang out more today and more tomorrow. It was really just the tip of the iceberg. Tsunami, I briefly bumped into at a Walgreens when my girlfriend and I were debating over how many gallons of water we were going to buy. And I heard this Josh from behind me, and I turned around. I was like, oh my God, it's Tsunami, the one, the only. So it was fantastic to bump into her. We had a brief chat. We will be meeting up again today, which is fantastic. But from there I met Palfurus, which many of you know from the Discord as well. And Palfurus flew in late. He found me at the meet and greet around 10 p.m. And then we kicked on till 3 o'clock in the morning again. And he was everything I could have hoped for and more. We got along like a house on fire. It was so nice to meet people that not only listen to the show, but have been such big fans from so early on. And again, thank you to Palfurus and Tsunami for making this trip so special. And I can't thank you enough. I'll talk to them more through the day, so I won't get too deep on or emotional on that one during this podcast. But what else can I tell you all about? Well, look, it's something where it's going to be really interesting what happens here today. I want to devour this demo as much as I can while still balancing the enjoyment of the BlizzCon experience. I'm not going to bury myself in the hotel room and play 6 hours worth of the demo and then get kicked off every half an hour, as you've heard with the time limits. But I do want to give it a couple of hours tonight, if time permits, and I do want to report back to you all on what I think of it. So just during BlizzCon, as I mentioned before I left Australia, please do appreciate that these episodes are going to be very rough around the edges. You're not getting the usual quality that you expect of Countdown to Classic, but more reactionary. And I just want to sort of shoot off the hip for all of you, give you a bit more of my flair. You'll hear my personality come out a bit more in these podcasts, which are very unprepared, and a bit more of me and what I'm like in real life. So it's off script. We're going off piste here on the show, and I'm really excited to be here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play you some of the interviews that I conducted yesterday very briefly. So whilst we were waiting to pick up our ticket, well, after we picked up our tickets, my media badge and Patricia's ticket, we stood outside of the convention center, and I have my mobile recording equipment with 2 big microphones getting stares from everyone who were wondering what media we were. And we just started grabbing people who looked interesting, and just very short, sharp chats, 1-2 minutes with about a half a dozen people. And everyone was so nice. It couldn't have been more fun. Everyone was happy to talk. No one said, "No, go away, you weird Australian guy." And speaking of everyone being so nice, when we were bumping into people outside the convention center, someone came up and grabbed me. They saw the Countdown to Classic shirt, and they said, "Hey, you got the guy with the podcast?" And I was like, yeah. And they said, "One of my very good friends absolutely loves your show, and they've listened to almost all of them, and they devour it." And I was just like, "Oh my God, that's amazing. Tell them thank you." And he said to me, it'd be great if you could shout this person out on the show. And I was like, absolutely. You kidding me? So to Cameron, to Louis, thank you so much for being a Countdown to Classic supporter. Thank you for listening to the show. I met your friend Trevor, and Trevor ensured that I would throw you a big shout out. So thank you to both of you. And that's just one of the examples of how delightful it's been to meet people here. People are so friendly, and just to meet people that know of the show, it still blows me away. Everyone is so delightful here. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play for you all those talks that I had yesterday. They don't go for too long, so you can just go quickly from one to the next. And what I'll do is bid you adieu from that point on, and I'll just end the episode after the last call. And so I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned for what's to come. I'm not sure when I can come to you next, probably tomorrow, again, with just a quick check-in with what I think on the demo. And once again, thank you to all of you from the bottom of my heart for listening to and supporting Countdown to Classic. You're all amazing. I'll see you later from BlizzCon 2018. All right, it's Countdown to Classic live at BlizzCon, and we're speaking with...
My name's Heath Miller, also known as Bacon Bullet, the Beard, or the Bacon Guy.
It's good to talk to you, Heath. Now, funnily enough, we actually had a few drinks last night.
Only a couple.
Just a couple. Whereas only a 3 a.m. night, that's all right.
Yeah. A nice early one for BlizzCon.
Exactly, just to warm things up.
Right. It's only Wednesday.
Exactly. And we've just bumped into you by happenstance now, and you've picked up all your stuff, and
yep.
You were talking to me about pins. And what are you doing with your pins here?
Yeah, so right now I just got done my regular shopping. I just, grabbed a couple things. I only grabbed 6-pack of pins, which for the normal pin trading scene is actually a little bit light. Most of these people, there's actually some people over there doing the massive trading. They've already dropped 2, 3, $300-$400 into
Holy
pins.
shit.
They're literally selling the full packs of all the colored set for $50.
Wow.
And all of these people are just like insanely gung ho. I just got a handful of them. I just got a couple of them looking for specific ones. The Mecha Material and a Gold Mecha Material. I didn't pull a single gold in my 6 packs, which is like a little bit, whatever. But now I'm just trying to find the point in time that people are willing to trade the colored ones, multiple colors for a gold.
So how many years have you done BlizzCon now?
This is my 6th year of BlizzCon. I've been coming since 2013, the year after they had the break.
And how long has the pin collecting been a thing?
Oh, pin collecting for conventions has been a thing since before BlizzCon was a thing.
So you've been doing this, I mean, for you personally.
Oh, no. I'm not a big collector. That's the thing. Like, I'll find 1 or 2 a year that I want.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Okay.
These other people, this is like, they've got a massive during convention, out of convention. They're doing this all the time year round.
Very nice. Now, is there any one title you're here for specifically or a bit of everything?
Little bit of everything. The main things that I'm looking forward to this year is Diablo news. Yes, we are getting some Diablo news. The hype is still real, despite them trying to dull it down.
I was going to ask about that. What did you think of that post when they were throwing a bit of water on the fire?
It's my own personal opinion on this, my own guess, is that they are specifically delaying Diablo 4 announcement until Q1 next year to help the Diablo 3 limited edition Twitch and Diablo 3 on the Twitch sell through the holiday season.
So do you buy into the Diablo mobile or something we're getting this year?
Actually, because there is a Diablo case. There's going to be a Diablo phone case that they're announcing, so there might be something Diablo.
I see.
So I'm pulling out, you guys can't see it, but I'm pulling it out.
So initially, were you expecting Diablo 3 expansion?
I'm expecting Druid in Diablo 3, or I'm hopeful for Druid in Diablo 3, and I'm expecting either Diablo 1 or 2 or both remastered.
I'm banging on D2 remastered, yeah.
So on the Blink store, or on the back of the booklets that everybody has when they go to the shop, there is a mystery phone case that is being announced for Diablo that we do not know what it is yet.
So tinfoil hat is on firmly for that one.
That makes me lean towards something mobile there. I'm a little bit skeptical on that, but hey, if it's a Blizzard mobile game, I'm still going to play it.
Well, that was my next question, is the market research. Will you play it if it's a mobile game? Yes.
It doesn't matter if it's World of Warcraft, if that ties into the Warcraft Legends statues that they have. It doesn't matter if it's a Diablo thing. If Blizzard puts out something else, I'm going to have it on my phone.
Very good. Excellent. Thanks so much for chatting with us today.
No problem. Enjoy.
Coming at you from BlizzCon again, 2018, we're speaking with
Doc McDonald's, a tank from Ministry of Truth.
There you go. Now, I just happened by you, and you seem really excited to be here, and you told me you love BlizzCon.
I love BlizzCon. I love everything about it. I love the people. I love everyone here, and it's just an exciting energy, and I love to be here.
How many BlizzCons you done now?
This is number 3.
Okay. And each time gets better, or what?
Oh, each time gets better, and a little bit more, I don't know, sorrow at the same time.
Okay. Now, made some friends, come back to see people along the way, like you meet up with buds and organize everything in advance now? You're a veteran?
Yeah, absolutely. We meet up with our guild comes. We meet up. There's about 3 of us that meets, from all times, like over the U.S. And, it's a big time. It's a good time. So.
Is there any one title you're here for, or a bit of everything?
No, we're always here for everything, and we're always here for a raid leader title, which is the one who can be here for the most. So,
nice.
Yeah.
All right, now I caught you high-fiving everyone as they walked by. You were screaming out. You're having a great time. Talk to me about the people that come to BlizzCon. Why do you love them so much?
Because there's so much energy, and there's so much love, and there's so much, that there's an understanding of everyone that's here. And that's great. It's great to be here.
Thanks for talking to me, man.
Absolutely. Anytime.
All right. Again, BlizzCon 2018. We're talking with...
my name is Colin.
Colin, nice to meet you. Now, mate, I happened upon, I guess you could call it a makeshift stall. And you've got some stuff for trade and for people to come along and buy. What have you got here?
Well, I got a Series 1 Murloc left for the Cuba Deadly.
Oh, very nice.
I had 3 of the green ones, but all those sold, and those were like 35. So that was pretty good.
Well, you just told me you had 3 times, like there's a little bit left here, and you said you had 3 times as much stuff at the start of the day. So it's been a pretty good day for you.
It has, yes, definitely.
Nice.
Yes.
And how you said, like, obviously it's for sale or for trade. Tell me how the trade generally works. What do people come up and offer?
Well, basically, I'll take a Cute But Deadly from this season, and I'll trade it for anything that I have up here, and if it's not something that I have, you can then buy it instead. So basically, I'm trying to work my old stock to trade in for the new stuff, so I don't have to spend as much money.
What's your most popular stuff?
The Murloc so far.
Okay.
They went
Excellent.
quick. And the Hearthstone, I had the Hearthstone cupcake pins. Those went fast too.
Is this your first BlizzCon?
This is my fifth one.
Fifth one. Okay. Have you done this every time?
No, I just kept buying it.
Okay. All right.
So this time I'm like, I should probably try and get rid of some of it before I buy more.
All right.
Otherwise, I'm going to have to buy another house.
Has anyone come up and tried to exchange anything strange or that you're the least bit interested in?
Not really.
No, so every offer's been a good one.
Well, I mean, I haven't got anything really weird.
Okay.
But stuff from this year, a lot of people are trying to give me stuff from this year that I already have. Those are the things.
Nice.
Yeah.
Any one piece of merchandise you don't have yet that you're gunning to get your hands on? A wish list.
Well, any of the golden pins from this series.
Okay.
Those are what I'm going for. I only have 3 right now.
Very nice. Very nice. Thanks so much for talking to us, man.
Oh, not a problem. You have a great day.
All right. We're walking and talking with
Eric.
Eric, nice to meet you, man. Now, you just told me it's your 6th BlizzCon.
It is my 6th BlizzCon.
Now, tell me, bigger and better every time, or is there one that particularly stands out, or what?
The one not to miss was BlizzCon 2014.
Why?
Because that was the year they announced Overwatch.
Of course.
That was the year the Metallica was here.
All right.
Hearthstone was coming together. I think it was just being released right then, wasn't it? Or was it still in the beta?
I can't remember. It would have been beta, wouldn't it? No, released? Yeah. Okay, all right. So what are you excited for this year?
I don't know. They really haven't said anything or gave any clues that anything new is going to be coming.
Well, it's funny you say that. Here's my predictions, because I think they're going to focus on the old and not the new this year a little bit, because everyone knows about, classic, blah, blah, blah. But outside of that, I'm guessing Diablo 2 remaster, maybe a Warcraft 3 remaster. What do you think of that?
I was actually just talking to a guy over there by the fountain that thought about that. He was like, old Warcraft get remastered. The only thing I don't like about that is when they said they were doing a StarCraft remaster, I was expecting an updated version as opposed to something that I could just play on Windows 10. You know what I mean? But the only thing I could expect to see new is a new Overwatch character or a new Heroes character.
What Blizzard title are you playing the most at the moment?
Hearthstone. I'm a truck driver, actually, so that's really all I got time for.
Makes it easy on the go.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent. And taking part in any tournaments or anything like that?
No, I don't have time for that, unfortunately.
Just casual play on the side?
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, man. You have yourself a good one. Thanks so much for talking with us.
No problem. Thank you.
All right. Live from BlizzCon 2018. Very special guest.
The one.
The only.
The only. Dookie Bear.
You're out of control.
Heyo.
So we figured we'd give you a spot, your long-awaited debut on the show. First BlizzCon like me. Baby, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. I'm super hot. We've had a lot of coffee. We've had a lot of alcohol. It's been great so far. I'm really looking forward to kicking off tomorrow.
Now, you and I had a big night last night. We rolled into town and took it down pretty quickly. We had a great one. Now we've been walking laps up and down outside the convention center for the last 10, 15, 20 minutes. What do you make of the crowd?
It is essentially what I expected. I actually came back from PAX Australia just a couple of days ago. So, not too different from the usual, con crowd. Everyone's super excited. Everyone's really, passionate. Water sounds. And yeah.
Now, you're not a big Blizzard person, so what are you looking to get out of this?
When you say I'm not a big Blizzard person, I actually played Hearthstone for a really long time, and I watch Overwatch esports. So I just like being around people who love games.
Very good point. And how does this rank against PAX Melbourne?
Oh my god, it's about 50 million times bigger. I mean, what could you expect out of an Australian con? But
I know the convention hasn't started yet, but you made a very long trip to be here for me for a bit of emotional support. Worth it?
Absolutely worth it.
Oh, you're the best. All right, we'll report back after day 1 and day 2. So say bye for now, but we'll hear more from you later on.
Sayonara.